This is a quick little update to show version 1.1 of the realistic bullet firearm and optic plugin. So far, the things that have changed since the initial release is we now have multiplayer support, as well as some other options and a bug fix to the bullet. So earlier, the velocity FPS was not actually controlling the launch speed for some reason, but I went through that is now fixed. The optic and how it zooms in and out has been altered. So currently for magnification, we have a min and a max. So the minimum magnification would be, for example, 4, and it would power all the way up to 20, such as this, and it's a smooth linear transition instead of having several steps along the way. And you can also adjust the speed at which it actually magnifies in and out. So for example, if we had a long range, you would probably want to increase this to like 0.5, for example, and the speed changes on how quickly it zooms in and out. Next up for the multiplayer, so we have a replication safe zone and use client muzzle location. So what the replication safe zone is, this is the kind of offset of the muzzle from the client to the server at which it is allowed for replication. So for example, let's say this pretty much is kind of like a basic cheat prevention. So let's say a player's muzzle is right at the tip of this arrow here. Well, that's at one point, and let's say the distance to the server muzzle is the arrow right here. So it's over 200 centimeters, which this is at by default right now. Because it is over 200 centimeters, it will not actually replicate. That will just be more so related to if there's a humongous lag spike or desync, or if the player is attempting to cheat the projectile and spawn it at some random location. So that's what this is. So you can increase or decrease based on your liking. And as well as we have use client muzzle location. So if this is checked, then so for example, let's say I'm the client, wherever the end of my muzzle is, that's where the projectile is going to come out of, like so. Now, if we uncheck it, well, if we leave it checked, and when this goes to replicate, because it's using the client's muzzle location, it is going to be firing exactly where the client's location and rotation was of the muzzle. So wherever that client was aiming, it is going to be exact. And that's generally what you want to keep the game responsive as well as accurate. So you shoot someone in the head, you want it to appear that they actually did get shot in the head because it's more frustrating than missing the shot than anything. And if you uncheck it, you're still going to be using the client's rotation for the muzzle, obviously, but the location is going to be based off of the server's location of the muzzle. So these two kind of work hand in hand. So that is the setup. I think that's everything. The only other change was just adding in some simple targets just to make it a little easier for adjusting your zero just because you can see them on white. But that's about it. So there's now multiplayer support. Some things have been fixed. Basic cheat protection for multiplayer, as well as a simple change to how you zoom in and out for the optic. So I hope you enjoy it.